Good morning, afternoon, evening, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. The purpose of today's video is really just going to be to set up what we call smart links within Precise FP. So the goal in this instance will be we can put a URL in a custom place that we've created in our Precise FP profile, and then actually send that form to, more than one client or prospect, separate engagements, but everybody clicks that button that we'll actually put on the form and it links them to that link in their profile. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. The very first thing that we are going to do is go into the data set. So we are going to operate under the assumption that when you click on your little profile picture in the lower left here, so your settings, that you do see data set under the application header. If you don't, that is a conversation to have with your system administrator. They may be able to give you that permission, or they may be able to set up smart links for you. So I like to keep things separate here in my data set. If you're not familiar with the data set, your data set is your Precise FP profile. So every single page, group, and element that totals up to the account profile that you can view to see all of the data that you've gathered for that household. Remember that the data gathered in the profile is also what gets exchanged with integration partners. All right. So here in the data set or the profile, what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to create a whole new page for simplicity's sake. You don't have to do this, but my thought process is, maybe I'm going to eventually have a bunch of smart links, and I just like to have them in one place in the profile. You can choose whether you are going to have essentially one link for the household, or if we were to go the individual route, this would actually be inputting a link for the client and then inputting a separate link for the co-client. This will be the same as like a co-client enabled page. So it will actually duplicate its contents for that co-client as well. Okay. I'm going to use household, and then I'm going to use high security because we're dealing with personal information. So we'll want to use a high security template. I'm going to go ahead and click create. And now I've created this blank page that is in everybody's Precise FP profile on my subscription. I'm going to click in here, just like editing a form template. I'm going to add a new element, and I'm going to choose a text field. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab a Precise FP link. We'll play with the current, say, Precise FP partners. So let me grab that link here. I'm just copy pasting it from my other screen. And then I'm just going to paste that URL right in. No, I'm not going to paste it right there. I'm going to call this my smart links text field. And then we're still not copy pasting. Bear with me here. We're just going to go ahead and create that text field. Okay. So I jumped the gun a little bit. We've created this space in all of our profiles. So then now what we will do is actually go into all accounts. We're going to click on the record that we want to establish that smart link for. So let's go ahead and pick on my little test code client here. I am going to go into their profile, so that driver's license icon towards the right. And then once I'm in their profile, I'm going to go down to smart links. Make sure you click edit at the top here. It'll just make it so you can actually input data, and then we can go down to smart links. We're just going to paste that link just as it is, right? And then we're going to click return. So just saving that entry in our profile right now. We can see it there at the bottom. Now, before we send the client a form, we just want to set that form up for those smart links as well, right? So I'm back in my templates here. I'm going to click on the quick fact finder, and I'm going to click customize. And remember, I'm using high security here. So make sure you're using high security as well for this to work. We're going to scroll down. I apologize. You can see I've already done some testing. I'm going to delete this, pretend you never saw it. And then because we created that page in the data set, we can go ahead, add a new page, and then import from the data set. We could go grab that Smart Links page, and it's going to put it right here at the end. I'm going to move it probably a little bit closer to the top. Maybe that's something I want them to click on and take care of early. Totally up to you. But the biggest thing I'm gonna do here is let's go ahead and let's disable that group title so we don't see it. We could change it if we wanted to. I'm just gonna hide it. Here in our group, maybe we could say, please click the download, or I'm sorry, the button. Please click the button to be brought to your, can't type when people are watching, respective URL. Let's go ahead and hit save changes. And now the biggest thing here is this is just going to show the text that we entered in the profile, right? We don't want them to just see a text field. So I'm actually going to set this to not even be visible to the recipient. So you can double click on the field, or you can click on it and then click element details. But what we're going to do is set that the visibility to be configurable. We're going to do visible on and then advisor preview only. So we can still see this if we come in to edit the template or we view an engagement as a Precise FP user. But this way, no prospect or client sees that field. We're going to make it look a little bit nicer for them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to click this arrow pointing down to create an empty cell below my smart link. I'm just going to do a little switcheroo here and move the smart link to the bottom. Nobody can see that, but I want what they actually can see to be at the top of that group. So I'm going to add a new element. And when we're working with links, in this instance, we're going to use a button element. If we were doing files, that would be an upload element in the profile for you to input whichever file is for that client. And then you would actually use a document download element that's set to show that smart link from the profile. So very similar, just different types of fields. Okay, but we were using that button. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is your personal link. And then rather than a link for everybody, we are going to use the smart link option. And we want to find, my very first record here, we want to find that smart links, or it's in that untitled group that we created in the data set. So this is this field right here that's hidden. Okay, so we're hooking them up. We're going to click create. And now what we can do, we know this is all set up. We want to go ahead and engage that record that we input our URL for. So let's go ahead and look at that again just for fun. There it is. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and engage with a form. And then I was putting this all on the quick fact finder. So that's the one I'm going to use here. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to review and edit since I'm accessing as a client. And then let's use email authentication. So we're pre-filling that engagement. And as soon as it's ready to go, I'm just going to go in as the client. And I'm going to view it to make sure that that's working. So I did that very quickly, but I went into engagements, so didn't send it out to anybody. Rather than getting an email, I clicked the copy to clipboard for the link to the engagement. And then I just pasted it right here. So I'm going to click start and it's going to have me authenticate. So I'll get a pin emailed to me. Bear with me here as I just grab that from my inbox. Sometimes it does take a beat. And be sure that you are also not accidentally copying any like empty spaces after that pin. It can happen. Okay. So I'm just clicking verify here to be brought in. And then this was our first page, which is kind of funny, but you know, we can scroll through and maybe we move things to different places. But just here front and center, it has pulled from that profile. We can't see that actual text field that is housing our link. And if we click the personal link, we should be brought, yes, to the Precise FP Partners tab. So that is a proper smart link. If we were to send that form to somebody who does not have a link in there, they're not going anywhere, right? Nothing to pull. Right? So if you do have any trouble setting this up, we do have the SmartLinks help guide that can assist you in this. Otherwise, remember, we are always in the bottom right-hand corner of the Precise FP website from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Right now, there are 3 of us. Ask any question in there and we'll get you taken care of. We'll always be human beings in there during business hours. So just let us know. We look forward to hearing from you, and I wish you the best of luck with setting up your SmartLinks.